There are, in fact, some people who just should not be buying a house. I know that is weird coming from a realtor like me, but just so you know, there is no shame in the rental game if that is where you are at in your life, and that is what makes the most sense for your situation. So, let's preface this whole video with the fact that nobody should ever be pressuring you into buying. If somebody is pressuring you, they might have what we call in the industry commission breath, and that is just utterly unacceptable. It is not somebody that you want in your corner, and it's not somebody who should be representing you in one of the most important decisions of your entire life. Now, buying a home or any piece of property is a huge life-altering decision. It's one of the biggest financial decisions that you are ever going to make, and same goes with selling. This isn't exclusive to buyers. This is also applicable to people who are evaluating whether or not it's time to sell. The right time to buy or sell is when it's the right time for you. It is not dependent on your realtor having to pay their bills, your lender having to pay their bills, or anybody's commission, and it's also really not dependent on what's happening in the market necessarily. Now, can you make educated decisions about when to buy or sell that hopefully align, within a few months of time frame, align with a good time? Yeah, that's possible, and I do my best to educate you about when those times might be. If you've been following me for a while, you understand that I put out market recaps after we get the data at the end of each and every month that kind of do a deep dive of what the numbers are, what they mean, how they apply to buyers and sellers. I also do my best to give you predictions of what I think is going to happen, but of course, nobody knows that. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not a psychic. I'm simply an industry professional who works daily in this market and under these conditions to give you the best sound advice that I am capable of doing. And I am hopeful and confident that by informing you and educating you, and not by pressuring you, that you would want to work with me, because my goals are to help you make an informed decision. They're not to pressure you into anything. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's move on to today's video. I'm gonna be telling you who, in my professional opinion, should probably hold off on buying their home. The first person who I think should probably give it a rest and maybe get things under control in their life before they think about purchasing something as big as a house is somebody who is not financially stable, right? Like, this is a pretty big no-brainer. You're not going to get pre-approved for a loan anyway if you are not financially stable. And what I mean is that you have not held down the same job or the same type of job for, the last couple of years. You can't procure steady income documentation that shows that you have been receiving steady and the same kind of income. And what I'm saying, the same kind, what I mean is, like, you wouldn't want to go from being a salaried employee to an independent contractor. And if you do that, that's great. Obviously, I have nothing against independently employed people. I am one of those. And I have been for my entire adult life. There's nothing wrong with that. What I'm saying is that if you're going to be applying for financing to fund the purchase of a home, you're going to want to have adequate documentation that you have been doing that consistently and that you are not a high-risk borrower, so that you are somebody that can prove their worthiness to be given a loan, because it's really likely that you are going to pay it back. The second candidate for a person who should probably hold off on buying is somebody who's living paycheck to paycheck. And there's also nothing wrong with that. I have been there too. I'm really not shaming you if you are a person who's currently in that situation. It's part of life sometimes, and I get that. However, you really want to make sure that you are earning enough income to cover not just buying the home, but all the expenses that come with being a homeowner. So all the upkeep and maintenance and all of that. If you buy a house and you let it go to, guess what's gonna happen when you go to resell that house? It's gonna decrease in value. Of course, there will be equity most likely and appreciation, but overall, you're not gonna have the highest possible net ROI if you don't keep up with everything that it takes to keep the home in good shape. So, if you are that person, I would say your biggest focus right now would be to try to figure out how to earn extra income and make sure that along the way that you are documenting it and you have paperwork to show all of it. Because when you go to apply for your loan and get pre approved, the lender's gonna wanna see that, you're not just taking money under the table. You have to show tax returns, you have to show pay stubs, you have to show a paper trail of where that money came from. So, just be aware of that if you are gonna keep your current job and get some kind of side hustle. And my third candidate for somebody who should probably hold off on buying, especially right now in this current market climate that we are in, with interest rates being on the high side and predicted to increase again, I would say that it does not make sense to buy a home if your plan is short term. If you are somebody who's thinking, I'll just get in, make some payments, and then flip it, sorry, this is really not the market for that. It's still a good investment. It's a very good investment, but it should be treated as a long-term investment within your overall portfolio. So I would say you're going to want to buy a home and plan to hold it for a term of about 5 years or more if you are planning on, gaining a big ROI from that purchase. If you have any questions about buying or selling, I would love to be a free resource for you. You can actually book a call with me using the link in the description box below. It's not obligatory of anything. Don't worry, I won't spam you forever thereafter. It's simply an opportunity for us to connect so that we can figure out what your goal actually is, really help you get clarity and articulate that goal, and then from there, we can reverse engineer it so that you have a step-by-step strategy to put in place, and you will know exactly what you should be doing in order to achieve your goal. And also, of course, if you have any other questions, I will do my best to get them answered during that call as well. It's just a good free resource. So go ahead and don't be shy about booking a call with me. If you guys haven't already, I would love it if you would please hit that like and that subscribe button down below. It would mean a lot to me. I put out new videos every single week about the Reno Sparks lifestyle, the Northern Nevada housing market, and of course, all things related to buying and selling real estate. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. See you next time.